Right, Saturday at Chop's Garage. I had a really weird call yesterday. I'm going to go through with you in a minute. Just quickly update you on what's been happening. We've got a new subscriber car in that we haven't covered yet. I think we've got a couple we haven't covered yet, which we will do shortly. The Polo I featured on an earlier video. Really funny one with this lady I sold a Fiesta to. About 6 months ago, it's been written off. She came by to see if I had an ink for her around about the £4,000 mark. And I said, well, I've got this Polo in the corner. I said, it looks bloody awful because it was parked up underneath the pine needles as well. I said, you're welcome to have a go in it. I said, it obviously needs prepping. I said, there's two ways for us to go with it. I will obviously clean it, machine polish it, I can touch in the paint, or I can clean it, machine polish it and send it out for paint and have like wheels refurbed and bits and bobs. I said, and obviously there'll be a price difference between the two. Should we take it for a spin and see if you like it? She took it for a spin, she liked it. Dad was with her. He came along for the previous sale. Really nice people locally from down in South Molton. And she was able to see past all of this and really liked the car and said, so some people just aren't that cosmetically bothered, to be honest. You go hell for leather on these cars, and some people, they would just rather have the lower price point. So we've got to get it down. She's going to have it, we're going to get it down and get a brand new MOT put on it. Then I've got to machine polish the living bejesus out of the thing, go round, and for the moment I'm going to touch everything in. She's going to have a look at it, and if she wants to go the next level up, she's going to pay a bit more for the car. If she wants it as it is, she's going to pay a bit less for the car. I told her we're going to be around 3,995 on it, which is about £300 less than Auto Trader. So that was good. I had a lady come in and try the Fiat 500, the mint green Fiat 500. She had an Audi TT, which she wanted to part exchange. Now Royston's going to be pleased with me here because I've been overly generous with part exchange prices recently. It was a nice car, but it didn't have any cam belt history on it. It was very clean, it drove really well, but it was 2011 with 95,000 miles on it. It was an MOT due in 4 months time, so I didn't know how much the MOT was going to be. We Buy Any Car was saying sort of, I think it was saying 2.7 adjusted for the MOT. And you know, if you go down there, they're going to knock it down a couple hundred more plus charge £75 for a transfer fee. So I just said 2.7 as well. I think the retail value on it was about, I think it was going to be 4,995 retail. But we know at that kind of age with that kind of mileage, and if I had to do a cam belt, I'd be £1,000 or more into doing it. So I think she was slightly disappointed with the part exchange price, possibly. She's gone away to think about it, but you never know. I don't put any pressure sales on anyone. On to the phone call. So really weird. Previous video you'll have seen me sell, I don't know if I did feature it much on the video, we had a 66 plate Hyundai i10 automatic in with only 20 odd thousand miles on it, and Auto Trader put the retail for that car at 9.5 grand, I think, being an auto. Now I put it up at 9.2 something, I think I did. And then Phil down at Moore's, he had a friend who needed a small automatic car for their grandson, and he was happy to spend that kind of money. Phil took it down to him, he checked it out, and it was all good. So Phil did the deal, bought the car back. We then MOT'd it. We did some we machine polished it, prepped it all. I warranted it, and then Phil drove it out to the customer. Always good, always good. Until I had a phone call yesterday. I had a phone call from the customer, left a message saying they haven't had the V5 yet for the car. I'm talking 2, 3, what is it? No, maybe it was a week afterwards. I've not had a V5 for the vehicle yet. And I said, well, that's not unusual, and it'll take a couple of weeks. Plus, the other reason is I don't actually do the V5 until about 14 days have passed, because you've got that kind of return right on a distant sale, which this would be classed as a distant sale because they were never on site when they got the car. It's one of the few ones I know we don't do distant sales as a rule, but obviously I know Phil really well, so I was kind of comfortable doing it through him. The car had been out to them, they'd seen it already before they agreed to buy it. Then it came back here as prepped, so I think on a legal standpoint I think I'd be all right. But obviously I gave them details of what their 14-day return rights were, so I wasn't going to register it in their name, not a one-owner car. I wasn't going to register it in their name until that 14 days had passed. And obviously your invoice is actually your proof of ownership of the car. A lot of people mistake this. The V5 does not prove you own the car. It proves you are the registered keeper of the car. The person that has an invoice proving that they purchased a vehicle, that is the owner of the car. So that's the reason I've done it. And I thought, well, it's not unusual for people to chase, but it's unusual to chase that early on. Well, I came in the following morning and I had a load of missed calls and a voicemail. And the voicemail was from a chap who said, I've seen a Hyundai i10 locally in my area, that a blue one, an automatic one with low mileage. I've seen it driving around my local area, and I've got an interest in purchasing it. So I have stopped the person that is driving the vehicle at the moment and asked them if I could purchase it, but they had no proof that they were the owner of the vehicle. They didn't have a V5C in their name. I then found that the car was on your website, and I assume you're actually the owner of the vehicle, or are they the owners of the vehicle? Can you please give me a ring back and let me know? And I thought, well, this is a bit weird. At the end of the day, what's it got to do with a third party? Whether the car is still registered to me, or oh no, sorry, he'd actually rung the DVLA. That was it. He'd rang the DVLA and asked the DVLA who it was registered to, and the DVLA said it was still in a trader's name, because obviously I put it into trade. So they said it was still, and he wanted to know if that was still the case, if it was still registered with me. I thought, what the hell has this got to do with a third party? I don't quite understand what it's to do with a third party, and why would the person who bought the car off me full retail consider selling it that quickly? They'd literally had it for like a week. I didn't get it at all. Anyway, I guess I was a bit intrigued, so I rang the chap back and he didn't answer. But when the answer phone kicked in, I lost the plot a little bit there because a friend was ringing. It was actually Adrian, and his wife wants to come and look at the Renault Captur at the back there, which I don't think I've put that on a video yet. And I was telling them how much I did not want to sell them a car. And they want a part exchange as well, which I said makes me even less wanting to sell them a car. They said that it's just gone for its MOT. I said, well, anyone can push a car on a ramp for an MOT. But you know what it's like. I'm sure they wouldn't hold me responsible for anything at all, but I would feel responsible if anything happened with the car. So it makes the deal that much worse, because they'll want a discount because they're buying from a friend. But then, as a friend, if anything happens with the car going forward, I'm going to feel responsible for fixing it. So it's the worst deal you can possibly do. Anyway, back to the chat. Where was I? So I left him the message thinking no more of it, thinking that's enough, let's put it to bed. He'll realise I know my stuff and stop interfering. Well, he didn't. I had a phone call back. I missed 2 more phone calls back from him asking me to get in contact with him because we kept missing each other. So I rang him back and he said, I did get hold of him. And he said he wanted to check that. He said, I've called the DVLA and they said you're still there in the vehicle. That's right. I said, well, yeah, it's in trade, but I'm putting it into their name. And he said, right, okay, because I saw the car and I'd like to buy it, but the person couldn't show me any evidence that they were the current owner of the vehicle, and they said they couldn't sell me the vehicle because I didn't have the V5. So he said, I just wanted to confirm that was correct. He said, because I've been burnt before buying a car, and they told me I absolutely must have the V5. I said, well, that's rubbish. I said, to be honest, I said, I understand, yes, you'd want to see the V5, but actually it's the invoice that is the proof of ownership. So if you are looking to buy cars and you're taking the V5 being present as the thing that's going to protect you to prove the car's yours, then you're looking at the wrong thing. So it's far more important that you get some proof that they purchased the vehicle. Anyway, so well, okay, well, you've confirmed that it is their vehicle, so I shall go back to them and see to them about buying the car. And I was like, right, okay, no problem. I should have asked more into it, because I say his surname is the same surname as the people that are buying it, and there's no way they'll be able to sell him that car, presumably without losing a ton of money, because is he going to pay them more than full retail for the vehicle? I wouldn't have thought so. Not at 9.2 they paid for that car, which was the Auto Trader dealer recommended. Obviously now you're buying without a warranty from somebody else. I guess it could be brother or sister or something, so you wouldn't want to be paying that kind of money. But I just can't see. It stinks of something scammy, but I can't really work out what the benefit is somewhere along. Maybe one of you in the comments can tell me where the scam is. And I'm trying to obviously make sure that I'm protected in this process, so I've actually registered the car now to them earlier than I would do normally. But yeah, I'm trying to work out where I fall foul in this process, and I can't quite work it out at the moment, but it just smells like something's afoot. I say comment down below if you've got an idea of what it might be. You'll note I am charging up my Bullet, my blue Bullet 125 motorbike, because next week I have my CBT. So I'm going to join those choppers that are watching that are bikers as well as car people. And I'm very concerned that I might actually get quite hooked on bikes. If I do, then you can see what a problem that might be for me. Bearing in mind this stuff that I get grief enough for already, I could squeeze an awful lot of motorbikes in between all this stuff as well, couldn't I? So we're going to get this charged up and get out in the car park and practice my slow manoeuvring. That's what everybody tells me to do. practicing my slow movement, but obviously when it's sitting around, the battery's gone quite flat on it. I do like the looks of this bike. It's a nice little chunky looking thing for a big lad like for me to be on a 125. So wishing me best of luck on that.